Hey, welcome to a little bonus episode. We're going to talk about 5 horror movies to watch today, Friday the 13th. So here we go. No particular order to these, but they're all from 2025. First up is Companion, which is a fun little follow up from the director of Barbarian. It's a story about how humans tend to manipulate those around them, including AI companions, or fuckbots, as they are kind of pejoratively called in the movie. If you listen to the podcast, shameless plug, then you know I kind of have a love affair for horror movies masquerading as social commentaries, and that is exactly what this is in flying colors. However, if that's not really your thing and you're just after a good horror movie, this does work fairly well as that. It kind of falls apart towards the end, but it's okay. It's not uncommon for movies to kind of do that, but I really enjoyed it. It's a good time. So, Companion. Next one is Ugly Stepsister. So this is the most recent of these movies that I've watched within the last couple of days. I watched it like 10 minutes ago, so it's fresh on my mind. I would this is a movie not from America. I believe it's from Norway. I think it's Norwegian. It's like a body horror version of Cinderella, if you can kind of make sense of that, maybe. Or like other grim fairy tales kind of find their way in there as well. There's some really fucked up things that happen. If you're a really big fan of body horror and some of like Cronenberg's stuff is a little too tame for you and you wanted more, then this is definitely more. There were some parts that really made me just kind of turn away, involving like eyes and fingernails and toenails being messed with. That to me is that crosses a cringe line that I just can't, or a squeamish line that I have to look away at that point. But also you get tapeworms, right? Why not? Um, yeah, if you want your grim fairy tales to be blood soaked and you don't mind subtitles, then this one is a really good one. Ugly Stepsister. This one is from the director of Longlegs, and it comes as an adaptation of a Stephen King short story that I distinctly remember reading at some point in my life. Maybe it was in junior high, maybe or past that. I don't remember, but I remember reading it at some point. Um, I don't think it's anywhere as good as Long Legs, but it's a completely different kind of vibe from Long Legs. Whereas Long Legs was, in my opinion, kind of like a almost like a worthy follow up to Silence of the Lambs in terms of its like investigation of a murder and all these different things kind of falling in place. This is way more of a splatter comedy, and the kills are very satisfying and very fun. If you love Final Destination, you will really, really like this movie. It is a good time.
Fucked up. Holy sh! Everybody dies.
Dawn. So I played the game many, 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 many moons ago. Enjoyed the hell out of that, but the movie lost me fairly early on. And it's not that it's bad. I would say the movie is very middling. I think it's the gimmick is a little pretentious that they're stuck in this time loop, and yeah, some of the deaths are clever. Some of the little villains are kind of interesting graphically to look at. It's not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not as good as the game. Not that the game was like a masterpiece or anything like that, but the game has resonated with me all these many years afterwards. Whereas I don't see myself ever really returning to the movie because there wasn't really anything there that I was really struck by that really made me want to keep returning to this. So I guess for fans of like the video game, maybe. I don't know. Your mileage may vary with this one.
Where's my car?
Where's your car, dude?
Dude, where's my car?
All right, last is Sinners. So this is from another popular director who did Black Panther, a bunch of movies, Fruitvale Station, Creed, several things. He's kind of made a name for himself now, especially working with Michael B. Jordan, who is also in this movie. This is kind of like a unique horror history drama musical set in the Deep South with vampires. And Michael Jordan plays twins that are returning to Mississippi from Chicago of opening a juke joint, and they have run into a lot of problems along the way. And so the movie, I love the way it's set up in two halves. It very as much is reminiscent of From Dusk Till Dawn, the first one. where if you watch the first half of the movie, it seems like it's one type of movie, and then there's a switch that happens, and it becomes a very different type of movie. That is something we see here as well, where there's very much a switch, where at first it seems like it's definitely going to be a certain type of feeling, and you lose that all of a sudden. And yeah, it has a lot to do with the blues music being played. There's some wonderful performances here around Michael B. Jordan. I love that you can easily take it on like all these different levels as like a historical allegory, or you can kind of approach it as just like a really cool vampire movie.
I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible.
Like Sinners, I know a lot of people are saying it's overrated. Some people are saying it's like one of the best horror movies of all time. I don't really I don't rate movies. That's not my gimmick. If you've listened to the podcast, shameless plug number 2, you'll know that I don't typically rate movies. I just say if I like them or didn't like them. I liked Sinners. I thought it was dope as fuck. And there's my review of it. Dope as fuck. There are 5 movies that just came out, or out within the last few months, that are streaming or available for you to watch on this Friday the 13th of ours. So why don't you give them a look, give them a watch, and let me know what you think. Holler back at me at the comments. See ya.
There will be nothing left here to be afraid of.
Every shroud has a silver lining, so if you see every other chiller this year, you'll need Saturday the 14th.
Oh, this must be your charming wife.